Well, back at Uwharrie, we're out with the blue Polaris, getting ready to hit the trails for the first time on her, maiden voyage. So let's get ripping. Okay. We had some rain this morning, so hopefully we won't be too dusty today. And of course, for those of you that know Uwharrie, it's a great place to ride. Certainly glad we have it available, but it's not a place that you're gonna ride fast for very long. A lot of terrain and sometimes some pretty technical little rock climbs and paths to pick, especially on a quad or definitely on a dirt bike. And lots of respect for the guys that are out here on the dirt bikes all the time. See them. It can be a little bit rough ride, but pretty great place. It's not Disneyland, as Pete Hager would say. I've been to Disneyland in Durham town, and it is definitely not that. Still a fun place to ride. I'm not doing jumps today, I'm getting too old. Just gonna cruise. Get a little bit muddy today. Out here, and that's a nice easy part. Probably more of a Jeep trail than a bike trail, but we take it. Still a good ride out here. You can come out and do a pretty good loop around. Have some fun. Turned out to be a beautiful day, despite the heavy rain yesterday and into this morning. Jekyll and Andy. There he comes. One more. The other thing with Uwharrie is it's bi-directional, so you do have to keep your eyes open for oncoming traffic, but it works out here because it's not a fast place, at least in my opinion. If you're going fast out here, you're probably asking for trouble, whether it's going to be injury or beating up a machine. I've seen lots of smashed, absolutely destroyed machines out here from going too hard, too fast. my machines that I've restored and be able to ride with them. Pretty new with this, in terms of what I'm doing. I'm loving it. Get to meet lots of great people. And I mentioned in one of my earlier posts, this is just as much about building a local community around quads and power sports, and good friends and people. And the little 2M community is definitely growing, and I certainly have a dream of being able to schedule some rides and meet quite a few people out here, many of which are hopefully ride machines that they got from me, and have some fun together. Andy's doing good behind me. We're not going to get that muddy today. Maybe one little jump. Say another thing, I used to think this was not a place for sports quads, but after getting more exposure to sports quads themselves and the sports quad community, and certainly the people that ride sports quads, in particular Durham town, the skill, ability, athleticism, knowledge, machine performance, all of this that these guys have, I was just so impressed. I was so completely impressed with all of them, and the ability and the power of the machines. So I'm pretty well convinced the sports quad, especially with the right rider, is going to go anywhere that the 4x4 utility quad is going to go, for the most part. I've seen it. Probably not going to be the most comfortable ride, but hey, they'll do it. Right, here's a rock that's famous out here. You'll often see Jeeps halfway up the rock and getting photos taken, and usually people out here hanging out. Doesn't look like that's the case today. Much have the place to ourselves today out here, it looks like. the terrain, the rocks, choosing the lanes, the hills, of course the bumps. It's doing its best to smooth that all out, but I'm learning the GoPro too. About out here is this is a national forest, and primitive camping is allowed pretty much anywhere you want, as long as it's not designated as a no camping area. So not out of the question to pack up a tent and some good food and come out this way and find a good spot and make a fire and have a nice night, maybe even go for a night ride. All possible here. I think that's really cool. This place just feels free to me. It's got a really cool sense of freedom. Got my son on the back with me. He didn't want to go today. I think he's waiting on his dad to get his little 90cc done, which that one's having pretty good progress actually. I mean, it's still a piece of junk, but I tore it down to the frame completely. Every single thing on that bike got tore down, and went down to the frame, cracked the engine, transmission, the whole deal. And we're just going to put her back together, fix everything we can, and see if we can't make a nice little bike out of it. I think we will. Side-by-sides and Jeeps out here. See some pretty nice vehicles actually. Tell some people this is their thing. That's where they invest a lot of their time, energy, days off, money, and you get it. It makes sense. Always amazed by the amount of people I encounter that don't understand what's fun about this. It's one of those things that you're gonna try it. better? Not to me. Well, maybe Durham Town. For sure. Since I've been to Durham Town, and still pretty impressed with the total impression it had from it. The energy there was just awesome. The trails were awesome, you know, and there were a lot of really well-known people there. They were having an event. That's why I went. Try something new. Some really good relationships from there. Super thankful for it. Whoa, snake. Whoa, snake. Whoa, snake. Lots of them out here too. That one almost looked like it was blue. Kind of a racer, I don't know. The only thing I know about snakes is I stay away from them. Yeah, we're getting muddy today, whether we like it or not. You're not wet!
I saw you hit the one puddle, that went around.
It went over me like a wave.
I saw that.
It was good. I brought extra clothes. And nobody at home to yell at me. That's alright. We're going to take the right one. basically our halfway point already. Where we need to take a break whether we want one or not. I call the second half of our normal ride out here, and it's my favorite part. I'm gonna leave that one alone. This backside is where I'm reminded I need to put some better shocks on this thing. And eventually the new tires. But I hate buying tires. This thing definitely, I think from the factory, deserved a bigger set of tires on it too. In case anybody at Can-Am was listening, which they're not to me at least. This back. There's a few little areas that gotta, take a little bit of time and choose your path and pick your lane. Little mini rock crawling. Definitely staying out of that. like that big rock right there, it's actually a huge quartz boulder. All these rocks in this area are all quartz. I find it like super unique, super cool. Picked a very good lane there. Surprised we didn't hear some clunkage. Thought I missed the trail there. Did miss a little section, but it's got a pretty gnarly downhill rock climb. It's not fun on the fall. So it's a good section to skip for us. We're just chilling today. Maybe I was just starting to dry out a little bit. From the deciduous state forest to the coniferous state forest, all the pine trees. Air always smells incredible here. It smells like Christmas. I love this little hill right here too. It's fun. This quartz, huge, all of this. I think that indicates that likely gold in the area. Uwharrie's got a pretty good history of gold. Used to be a lot of gold mines out here, and a lot of good history. It's worth looking up. We're on a Dickey Trail. That's the difficult section. Not for me. I watched a reel on Instagram this week actually of a guy taking out on a dirt bike. Baller, dude. He did it, rode it well too. I was really impressed with him. This is a bypass to that, and relatively new out here, so they made a couple new trails, and having a bypass to some of the more difficult areas is a big thumbs up. Used to be, they didn't even want to come out here and ride a quad because there were just places aren't great for the quad, and you couldn't get around. Now this trail here, you can actually come out and do a loop all the way around the OHV park. I'm gonna give my thumb a break. Check with my partner, make sure he's okay. Here it comes. Blue Polaris is doing it.
Yep.
It's good.
Haven't even cracked the throttle yet.
I got carpal tunnel happening in my thumb now. Of old guys. About that 2M sticker, put it on a machine and it's just better. like everything else in life, you gotta do the work. Questionable decisions. Broken back. That was the one that reminded me of my age. Always one hit that will do that every ride. That was it. Subtle, but enough. No avoiding the water today. Ooh, that was fun. Such a beautiful area of the forest here. I just can't get over how gorgeous it is, the places out here. Last time I was out here, I rode with one of the crews named John, proud owner of a 2M machine that I bought for him. Did the thing and he bought it back, and it's part of the family. We love them. And last time we were out here riding not too long ago, it's pretty dusty. He decided to give me some space, so he wasn't eating all the dust, and took it slow. And he was telling stories about all the wildlife we went flying past. Saw deer and all kinds of stuff. Reminders where sometimes you got to slow down. I know if I say that to the power sports community, I'll probably get roasted, but I doubt it. I think you're hard pressed to find better people. If they do, I don't really care either. Love this little thick back here. It's like nighttime. See this trail right here? That's the one that you found the track on, up that way. But I didn't believe you until I saw it. This right here is a pretty nice little rippy area. You get a little speed through here compared to normal. Still a great place to bust your butt, but stuff.